This series of programmes is dedicated to those of us who, using our government-sponsored bus passes, spend our days travelling the byways of Britain for nothing. This is Clevedon on the North Somerset coast, and this is where our adventures start today. Today I'm off to Bath Spa in North East Somerset, starting as usual from my home base of Clevedon. This is the top deck of a 361 bus bound for Bristol, a journey I've taken on many occasions throughout my life. Even as a child I can remember the excitement of my first glimpse of the Clevedon suspension bridge as we drove into the city. Isambard Kingdom Brunel was the engineer in charge of its construction, and work began in 1831. But the project was dogged with political and financial difficulties, and by 1843, with only the towers completed, the project was abandoned. Brunel died in 1859, and the bridge was completed as his memorial and finally opened in 1864. When I was a boy, this was called the tramway centre, but buses to the outlying districts could be caught. Now most of them leave from the new bus station, but the X39 to Bath still calls at the centre. I seem to have missed that one, but there'll be another one along in 12 minutes. One complaint I do have about some of these first bus company buses is that the advertising on the outside makes filming through the window very difficult. Welcome to Bath. My plan is to follow the suggested walking tour to be found on this excellent Visit Bath website. Everything you need to know about the city is here, including a walking map of the area and a downloadable audio guide.
You should now be on Grand Parade, looking towards Pulteney Bridge, with a distinctive and noisy weir below you.
I suppose this has to be the most famous view of Bath, the Pulteney Bridge, which spans the River Avon. Originally designed by Robert Adam, it is said to be one of only 4 bridges in the world that are lined with shops. Its design was based on the Ponte Vecchio in Florence and the much photographed Ponte di Rialto in Venice. At the end of the bridge I can't help noticing the sorry sight of the now defunct Duck, Sun and Pinker, a renowned musical establishment. Again it takes me back to my younger days when I took my violin examinations here many years ago. The nearby park which adjoins the river is called Parade Gardens, but beware, they charge non-residents a small entrance fee and it is closed in the winter. OK, not all buses are free to bus pass holders. As you are over 60, this will cost you the grand sum of £10. You may think it's worth it.
You should now be at the top of Milsom Street, and Amy takes up the story of the influence of this street on Bath's Georgian society.
We're now really in the heart of one of the other great Georgian pastimes, which was shopping.
You should now be at point 4 on the map, standing near the obelisk in Queen's Square.
Unfortunately, it was impossible to stand by the obelisk, as the Occupy Bath group of protesters are camped all round it. During the Georgian period, Bath burst out of the cramped confines of its medieval walls in a great spurt of new buildings. The houses in Queen's Square were the first speculative developments by the architect John Wood the Elder. The author Jane Austen stayed at number 13 in the square during 1799.
Take a little time to look around this large building that is made up of 3 sections.
The King's Circus is another of John Wood the Elder's designs, but it was completed under the direction of his son John Wood the Younger in 1768. Wood's inspiration was the Roman Colosseum, But whereas the Colosseum was designed to be seen from the outside, the circus faces inwardly. The frieze is decorated with 525 pictorial emblems, including serpents, nautical symbols, devices representing the arts and sciences, and Masonic symbols.
Track 6, the Royal Crescent. Standing at this end of the Royal Crescent, you'll be presented with this great vista. One of the many
The Royal Crescent is one of the world's best-known landmarks. Built between 1767 and 1775 and designed by John Wood the Younger, the Crescent contains 30 houses, one of which is now the Royal Crescent Hotel. The interior of number 1, the Royal Crescent, has been magnificently restored to show the modern visitor a wonderfully vital picture of life in Georgian Bath. Concessionary tickets are available for £5. I had expected Bath to be fairly quiet at this time of year. After all, it was the end of November, but the lower part of the city near the pump room and Roman baths was packed with people. Then I realised this was the day of the public workers' strike, and lots of schools were closed. As always in this area, there were buskers aplenty, but today, as a special treat, a flaming juggler. The Grand Pump Room in Abbey Churchyard is a Grade 1 listed building built of Bath stone. Visitors can take the waters from the warm spring inside, which also fills the adjacent Roman baths. You can also eat in the restaurant and listen to the Pump Room Trio, the longest established resident ensemble in Europe. The Roman baths are probably the main reason people visit Bath. The magnificent temple and bathing complex that the Romans built still has the natural hot water from Britain's only hot spring flowing through it. A senior citizen ticket will set you back £10.50. There has been a place of Christian worship on this site for well over 1,000 years. However, Bath Abbey has undergone many transformations and changes during that time. But it still stands proudly today as an essential place for both worshippers and its many thousands of visitors. For 18 days around Christmas, the quaint streets and squares between the Abbey and the Roman baths are transformed into a Christmas shopper's haven, the Bath Christmas Market. The 129 wooden chalets which appear in the streets at this time offer unique handmade and unusual gifts, decorations and food items. As the advertising says, everything the customer will need for the perfect Christmas celebration. Nearby, in North Parade Passage, is the oldest house in Bath, and also the home of the Sally Lunn bun. Sally Lunn, a Huguenot refugee, came to Bath in 1680 after escaping persecution in France. In Lilliput Alley she found work with a baker and introduced her now famous light, delicate bun to pre-Georgian Bath. Sally's fame, together with that of her bun, grew and grew. She was even referred to in a Charles Dickens novel and a Gilbert and Sullivan show.
Now for the muffin and toast, and now for the gay Sally Lunn. Now for the muffin and toast, and now for the gay Sally Lunn. The eggs and the ham and the strawberry jam.
Finally, back to the bus station to catch the X39 back to Bristol. It's been a memorable day with plenty to see and enjoy, with a few surprises like the juggler and the Christmas market. And now I can enjoy a quiet ride home in my very own bus. I kid you not. I was the only passenger on this 40-seat bus all the way from Bath to Bristol. Maybe I should withdraw my complaint about the advertising on the outside of the bus, particularly if the first bus company is going to treat me so royally in the future. I hope you enjoyed the day. Join me soon. Bye for now.